Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what to do when you don't know what to do. Though that sentence in itself makes it feel like when you don't know what to do, here's a list of to-dos that you should be doing. I don't want to think about it that way because it's not like I want to keep myself busy with things that I don't really need to be doing. I feel the pressure of always wanting to do more with my time, with my day, honestly, even with my life in general. Even though, like, who says that needs to be the case? I'm gonna go get food because I'm like really hungry. Pancakes and apples and peanut butter and a couple sausage links. It stops becoming a what am I doing like right now. Like right now I'm eating, I'm talking to you guys. But then it really quickly becomes a oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life kind of situation. And I feel like then that, like even the thought of that just like sends me down a completely different rabbit hole. It's so hard to just like sit down and be like, what do I want for myself? What do I think I should be doing right now? How am I going to listen to myself and follow my own path? And I feel like people who are incredibly successful, very outstanding, a lot of the times have followed sort of their own self and have learned to trust themselves over time. I feel like I didn't learn that until pretty recently, so I feel like I struggle with it a lot. Like I know I'm listening to myself right now, but I feel like my outer like conditioned self doesn't trust the other me. It's like you're lying. Like it like sort of beats it up and it's like you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do well, you should quit while you're ahead, like don't embarrass yourself, like all of that. And all of that is so egotistical. Yet even knowing all those things, it's still hard. But I don't know. Am I selling? Whoa. I just dropped a blueberry somewhere on the floor. I literally don't see it. It's not that I have to figure out what's wrong. I just have to focus on feeling my feelings and then letting them pass. I feel like I get myself tripped up a lot and I'll try to logic it out. When at the end of the day, I really just need to feel and sit in it and know that it'll be okay. Which is like arguably scarier than the other approach. Because it's nice to be able to think something through and be like, ah, that's it. That's why I'm feeling this way. But sometimes there's not a why. It's really just a feeling, and it's okay to have that feeling. So I got some chips and guac. Wow. That's kind of a lot of guac. I want to know what other people say what to do when you don't know what to do. Alright, so we've got focus on your values, sleep on it, take action, focus on the end goal, complete small goals, accept discomfort, exercise, ask questions, meditate. I feel like that's a pretty comprehensive list, but again, those are all things to like do. Maybe it's this. It's like when you start learning something for the first time, like for running, which is something I'm learning at the moment. I don't know what I'm doing, but I watch a bunch of videos that make me feel like I know what I'm doing, and then I don't feel like I know what I'm doing all over again. Maybe it's kind of that just same pattern with life. Like, I do know what I'm doing, but I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Basically what I'm saying is you have to figure out if you really don't know what to do, or if you feel like you don't know what to do. For me, it's the kind of that feeling that I don't know what to do, and what to do with that feeling, you just gotta feel it and let it pass. But if you don't know what to do, like literally, and it's not a feeling, it's just you literally don't know what to do, talk it out with yourself, journal it out. That's a different type of I don't know what to do. The I don't know what to do that I'm experiencing at this moment is just I feel like I don't know what in the world I'm doing. If someone's like, what are you doing with your life? And you're like, I feel like answers that I've gotten from my friends are like, oh, I'm studying so I can be a doctor. I feel like I don't feel like I don't know what I'm doing because I'm not confident in speaking that end goal like into existence. Honestly, that really makes sense in terms of feeling like I don't know what to do, and it makes other people feel like I don't know what I'm doing because I don't know where I'm going. But part of me is like, I have this conversation a lot with my friends because like, as a person who has struggled with wanting to control everything, I feel like I completely reversed and was like, I want chaos. I want unpredictability. I want to never know where I'm going to end up. And I kind of feel like a thrill of life. Like, oh, it would bore me to death if I like was trying to get to a certain place in my career and I knew exactly how to get that. Like, wow, that sounds really nice and comfortable. I think I would hate that and I wouldn't like, it wouldn't be exciting. So for me to think about like, I'm doing all of this to get to this end goal, it sounds so boring to me. That's just a rant. Thank you, Chips and Guac, for giving me insight, but I have eaten as much as I can and it's still too much. So we're gonna move on. Yeah. So of course I finished eating and not knowing what to do, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch some Netflix. Like I really can't sit here by myself in silence. Like I listened to Kiss FM with Ryan Seacrest, but it really surprised me that they have these segments where they talk about like how to practice mindfulness during the day and just like have a little mindfulness reminder. One of their like tips for the minute of mindfulness thing was like, if you're struggling to like be mindful during the day, like why don't you practice like gratitude and affirmations? And they were like, set your like computer, like your Gmail password or something that you use a lot, to an affirmation so that every time you you like log into that thing, like you're forced to like remember and practice that affirmation. And I just honestly, I thought it was so funny. I was like, ooh, that really got me. I would always have this argument, or not argument, this conversation with my mom. I forget what documentary it was, but it was talking about why like depression and anxiety is so prevalent these days. Is that kids these days don't get the chance to be bored. Maybe it's just like this feeling of not knowing what to do is kind of just boredom and then trying to deal with boredom. But I'm not used to dealing with boredom, so maybe that's why it's so difficult. And it's not that I'm like stressed out and I don't know what to do with life. Maybe it's just like I don't know how to be bored. I don't know how to be bored. I drew a self-portrait of you. I guess that's where boredom gets you. Do you like this mug? I think it's hilarious. I don't know whose mug it is, but like even the inside is like lined with the Kikoman thing. Kikoman. Is that that's Japanese, right? I don't know why I didn't really think about that. I didn't really know that. I, for some reason, always thought it was Chinese, but that doesn't sound Chinese. I'm gonna Google it. It is. It's a Japanese manufacturer. I have some soba and seaweed. Not knowing what to do, or not knowing what you're doing, whether big or small, it's really hard to figure out. Let me know how you're doing today in the comments. I'd love to hear about your story and your life. Thank you for letting me share this day and this time together. If you want to hang out with me again, please subscribe, and I'll see you next week or the week after. We'll see. All right. Thanks, Kim.